I tell you what, guys, I have been looking at these doors all day. Not all day. Yesterday evening, after the stream ended on Monday, I've been thinking about, because we had errors with our doors, and then Monday evening and Tuesday evening, I've just been going through this door continuously to try and figure out how to recreate the sort of, it's like a room duplication error. I'm not really sure why, but I think I've mostly managed to fix it. So in the door script, I've even got like hey, if you're going into this scene, you need to stop this because that's when the error is occurring, because we're going to this room instead of the one that we're intending to. And it's pretty much down to the fact that I think what's happening is that you have the ability to trigger this area twice potentially. And so like the idea I think I have is to essentially disable the character's interaction with this thing. And that should probably do the trick, because if you can't interact with this object until you're set into the new scene, then it's probably okay. Probably. I mean, I'm mostly good now. I've been, like I said yesterday, I've been going through this door non-stop trying to recreate this error, and it's getting a lot more difficult. So I can't really create it anymore. It just is like you go through no problems. I think I can still get like, oh yeah, it seems okay. There's a couple of things like you're supposed to get spat out, right? And then sometimes that doesn't happen. We'll have to look at that. It's not a big deal. As long as you're just accounting for the fact that you just put a floor below where the error, like where the area is that you're supposed to come out from, make sure they can't just fall through the world. And like, it's not going to break the game. It'll look a bit weird, but you know, we're not having this error, and it's much harder to reproduce because you can't do a vault into the transition. The vaulting into the transition seems to be what was like triggering it. This little thing here where you grab onto the edge and then climb over. That was a big part of what was triggering this error. And so as long as we prevent that from being an action you can do inside a room transition, then you're going to be mostly okay. It's not 100% even with that. That is our room transition. So I want to try and, there's one thing I want to do, and that is be able to have the point where you spawn be different from the door's position. An idea I was having was essentially right now, when you go to the next room, we find the connecting door via these index lookups, and we find the connecting door, and we just, all we do is we put the player on this position. So I was like, well, what if we have like a marker, right? And we just push this, like if it's here, right? Then you're going to get spawned outside of the door room, the door space, and you'll be okay, if that makes sense. Like you're not going to have, if you're like 20 pixels out. And so we can have an offset, and we can multiply it by this like up, left, down, right thing. And use that constant as a way to put you in a position that's not exactly inside the area. So there's less chance that you're going to be able to do like a multi-trigger kind of weird bug. And also the other thing is obviously, the reason for that as well, there's like additional reasons to do this, not just to prevent that room duplication bug. It's also like we can basically, if we got like a top and a bottom transition, we can actually manipulate where you're going to come out at the top. So you've got like, because this whole like, oh, when you go from below and to up, you get put into a jump state. But like, we want to make sure that you're always definitely coming out of the top, because there's no direction. So like, if you just jump up like this, you're just going to go up and then come back down. You have to like press something, which is fine. But yeah, if we make it so that you can actually spawn here and get spit out, then you've got way more time to react to that and stuff like that. So yeah, that is the plan today. Sort of play around with this. How we all doing? Position vector 201 point. Yeah, I'm about to play with vector 2s right now. So if we go spawn marker, right? Now, interestingly, the spawn marker needs to be the opposite of the direction. So if your direction, say this door, in facility entry 3, did the feed die? It looks okay on Twitch. Emergency. We back? Yeah, it looks okay. It looks okay on YouTube too. Sweet, sweet, sweet. It's definitely working on Twitch because I monitor it via the stream manager. Just helps me see what I'm actually projecting out into the world. I think you can also like manage chat and stuff from it, but like I don't ever do that. I just use it to make sure that everything looks normal. Okay, so if we have a spawn marker, see like this one here, let's go to 2D. Its direction is down, so the spawn marker actually is up, if that makes sense. We could also like just set that position before we spawn into the room. That's fine too. So we could have a function if we have like the spawn marker, right? We could have a function like set spawn marker. Let's get rid of this. I'm fairly confident we're not going to see this. Actually, I'll just comment it out and take away the breakpoint. So let's go and set spawn marker. And it takes a constant. What is this thing called? Door direction, right? And it's a door direction, I guess. And it doesn't return anything. Let's pop this out. Actually, before we do that, we need to set the variable. Spawn marker. Which is a marker 2D. And we press save there, and then we'll set the variable, which we always forget to do. Door direction is null. Scene is null. Okay, that's fine. But what about it's not happy with what I've written. Oh, because I didn't finish that section of code down here. It's like, what the hell? Oh my god. Doors, crawl doors. Okay, yeah. I was thinking about that the other day. I was like, how can I tell the difference between these two? And the answer is they're in a group. But it's not related to this issue. Okay, so we set the spawn marker. So what we're going to do is we are going to take a door direction, and then we'll say to the marker that it should be equal to like a vector 2. So we're going to match the door direction. Do we have a variable called door direction already? We do. So let's just put an underscore around this. Right. I need some space. And it's going to be door direction dot up. Oh, we can just copy this. Right? Except we're going to save spawn marker position. Is a vector 2. Right. Equal to vector 2.0. And we also needed like a spawn marker offset. We could also like just set this manually, I suppose. You know, now that I think about it, like it's only gonna be in one spot. Do we just do this manually then? You know what I'm saying? Whatever, we'll do it. We'll do it programmatically. If it doesn't work the way we want it to. this is a vector 2. Let's just call it, actually it's a float, right? And it's just equal to 20. And then here we can go spawn marker position, and it's actually the direction. So spawn marker position, so if it's up, right, that's actually negative. Am I correct in thinking that? So that would actually be like 0, negative 20. Yes, it would. Yeah. Equals vector 2 dot up. Oh, I think that would be fine then. Yeah, if I just use up and then multiply by offset, spawn marker offset, right? Down and then left, and then we go spawn marker dot position equals spawn marker position, right? We don't want to use global position because we need this to be relative to the actual spawn point or the door, so that's fine. So we set spawn marker position, and then in the game state, I guess we can, when we get the door, so what happens is we get the door, we actually set it to be disabled because like in previous iterate or currently in this version, right, when you get set the position inside that area, obviously the second you move, you're going to interact with that area and get transported back, which you don't want. So it gets set as disabled, and then once you leave it, it gets re-enabled. But if we have a spawn marker, we can make sure that that position is always outside of this area. However, I still think this is the challenge, right? Like if you never inside the area, then you're never going to trigger the re-enabling of that area. So realistically, we take that out and we make sure that you always spawn outside of the area. And then instead we just go i.set spawn marker, and then we pass in the previous door's direction, which I don't know if we have. So maybe it is something we set manually. I just didn't think about that, Do we have that information? I guess we don't, but we can pass it into the load next scene, where we came from. There is, how do we know? How do we know to jump? Let me try and remember. Initial state, we do pass in an initial state. So it's not really the same, right? But we could pass that information. It's just getting kind of a lot, right? So let's go back to the door. And here, when we go through the door, we could pass in the door direction. Obviously, that's super easy. And then you go and you go back to the game state, and then you just pass that in. Door direction, which I guess is just an int, right? Like it's not going to come through as a door direction, but yeah, and then we go spawn marker, door direction, int, and then we pass that in. And then here, set player location, we go and we pass in the door direction that we just did. Okay, so theoretically that should work just fine. Well, I guess we'll see what I've forgotten. What I'll do is I'll add a little sprite to this so that we can see it in world. Just pick anything to go on that. There's a square placeholder here, which is a nice little red dot, which is pretty easy to see. We'll make it a little bit bigger so that we can see exactly where it is. Okay, let's see how this runs. Let's see if I break something. Um. Yeah, see that. Now we've got problems because we're not. We're sitting in the area and triggering it multiple times per frame, and it goes crazy. Okay, so that probably didn't work then, eh? Okay, so let's just do, before I give up on this idea, let's just check on a breakpoint. Let's just go here for the match door direction. Just make sure that it's matching correctly, and then we'll go. And if that doesn't work, then I'll just set it manually, because like it's only going to be something that you kind of want to can manually control. Okay, door direction is 0. Spawn marker is 0, 0. Match. So it does hit the spawn marker up. And then we go spawn marker position. So what's happening in the remote right now? We've got facility entry 03. Embedding is disabled. Where's the game screen? It's probably just black right now, right? We can actually see, if we go to the UI and turn off the UI, we should be able to see through that. You forgot a function, methink. Did I? Did I forget to call the function? So there we go. We can turn it off and see that that is the position. You know what? I think I actually forgot to tell it to spawn. You're right. I did actually say, I set that, but then I forgot to actually tell the game that's where you need to spawn the character. Which is pretty funny. So here, where I say i.global position, right? I need to go. I finally found an error myself. Nice work, dude. I.spawn marker .global position. There. That's all that needs to change there, so that I'm not just setting it to the position of the door. Good eyes. Let's see now. We got a breakpoint, which is going to be kind of annoying. Which is fine. We'll just find that bit of code and take that breakpoint off because we know it works already. Yeah. Let's test another door out. Obviously, like, it's a little bit smokes and mirrors because of the fade. Like, it looks fine, but realistically, you're going to be like appearing way in front of it. I think it's better to make multiple sprites that connect to one thing than to make procedural animations. Is it better to make multiple sprites that connect to one thing to make I mean, it depends, really. I don't have any procedural animations here because it's all pixels. So if it's 2D and pixels, it's probably unlikely that you're going to do that because you can't really even have procedural animations. But if it's in 3D, I mean, you can cut that any way you want because Rainworld did it. I'd have to have a look. I don't actually know what they... I've never... Is it Rainworld a 2D game? Check out what draw calls are and why you want less of them. True. There probably is a performance impact there. Let's see how this goes. I mean, it works, right? I'm outside of the spawn zone. The question is now, can we trigger the room duplication? Like if I turn off the invisible walls and allow myself to do a wall grab, are we able to trigger the room duplication? Or no, because we're not even going to be spawning within the position of a door. You know what I mean? A Rainworld game. I need to play this game. Let's save on this. Let's see if we can trigger it. And then I guess we're done with the doors. I mean, they're fine the way they are. Doesn't have to be that complicated. It just needs to not screw up. You know what I'm saying? Where's the invisible walls? You want to learn magic number games so the core loop is super small? Yeah, you need to like, the idea, yeah, it's a really good point. Like I spent years just making like, do you know what a game jam is? You just join game jams and they're like a 2-day thing where you make a really small game. And then you build up to it. It's really good because you do start to get like more realistic expectations of what you can and can't make. Like I would really like to make an immersive sim, like a 3D immersive sim. That would be like a really fun project. It's just like, I know how challenging 3D is and how long it would take me and how I don't have the technology in order to realize that vision, if that makes sense. It's like literally impossible. I would need a much bigger budget. And so it's like, okay. Oh, I still can't even trigger it because the spawn point is below where you can even do a vault. Why does everything here look kind of weird? Interesting. I think maybe this kind of solves the problem because you're never being put back in a place where you can spawn, where you can trigger the spawn point again. At least, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, if I'm continuously just doing like janky stuff like this and I'm still not able to trigger it, I think we're good. I'm sure there's still a way you can make it happen, and something on the list of things that I need to do is to look into like the way that I'm actually even spawning the rooms, because obviously right now there's a possibility that you can like just have multiple come in and you can have like all these different things where if you get into like a weird, if you position the character very strangely, it's just like all sorts of shit goes on, and you have like multiple rooms overlaying with each other, and things get really like the game, like the computer starts cooking because it's just continuously spawning rooms. You know what I mean? So like, yeah, you know, I think it's okay. I think we're passable. You know, if there's an error like 1,000 out of one, you know, every 1,000 times people go through a room, I think that's okay. Like there's, what's the limit here of like figuring out exactly what is the problem? So we do that. And now you've got like little tricks and stuff like that, and we put the invisible wall so we can't end up on top. I wish I was recording, but one time I actually managed to like have the character not even be on screen, but I was still able to move around and stuff. It was really weird. It's fine. Yep. Okay. So we call doors good enough right now. We move on to the next thing, right? Which is, I don't even know. Do I make more projectile stuff, or do I just keep making levels? I don't really like this design. A custom cursor. Oh wait, I sort of zoned out. Do you think it'll be easy to make a cat arm and a claw following the cursor? Like a custom cursor, like how I would do that, a custom cursor in 2D, 3D for the magic number game, polish it, but do the magic core first. Like say if you had, like even I can picture that, like a magic number game, but like you had to choose like a set of numbers and it's like a cat's paw. you just like have an object following the mouse. Depends how big you want it, right? If you want it to be like the size of an actual mouse, and then like the rest of the arm would be a separate object that just sort of follows it. You can even do like spine 2D. You could have two parts, like the forearm and the shoulder arm. Like it's doable. 100%. But that is very technical still. Well, I wonder, what was the very first game that I made? No, it was definitely the Android game. I spent like a month making a game. That was like my first thing. I mean, before that I had done like, what is it called? Like, I had made like a bunch of little things. Like I'd made like a Pac-Man like game. I had made like a what do you call it? A Flappy Bird style thing as like tutorial projects. I think this was the first game jam that I did. Does this still work? I guess we're about to find out. This is ancient. GMT Game Jam 2021. Okay. When something new comes up, before making a mess with your cool big project, test the things. Okay, WASD to move, space to jump. And then tab switches your active character. Dude, there's so much like, the acceleration of this character is so slow. And now you can see where the fox comes from, this game. And then you just have to grab this thing here, tab to switch the active character. Your goal is to have both of them on the thing. And if you press tab, you can use this guy. He can only jump on the shadowed objects. And then you get a success. I really don't like the way this controls, but I guess technically you can use the spacebar. And it's really flickery. Wonder if that's just an age thing. I guess it must be. And this is the entire game. You know what I mean? Like, this is it. I can't run into it. There's nothing to tell you that, like, which one you're controlling. Oh yeah, I managed to make like a thing where you add tiles. Pretty cool, eh? The fox. Yeah, because I wanted to like make this into a bigger game, but the thing is, I don't know, I lost interest. Oh yeah, you can use the fox as a platform, so you can jump on each other. Oh, I'm so bad at this. Oh. Oh, I did it. Oh, this one's hard because you have to do like a drop down like that. Oh, are you supposed to use this guy as a platform? What the heck? Oh yeah, okay, I see. It'll be fine. I did it. Anyway. It's pretty fun, actually. Maybe I should have kept making that. But it still like helped highlight to me the challenges of making a more big game. And it's something that I still need to address here, is that like you need to spend a lot of time doing artwork. I guess it's probably better to work in a team, someone that likes to do the art, because I don't find too much enjoyment out of that. Like, it's kind of annoying to me. And so, like, that's where the bird comes from as well. So I drew the seagull, and I was going to be like, you have to rescue the animals. Like, I needed to change the goal because I thought it was a bit too basic. So I was like, you have to rescue. You like doing art. There you go. You'll be all right then. You just got to learn how to code. Pixel art is really easy. Yeah, it is. Kind of. It's just tedious. It takes ages, and there's a lot that you have to do. Okay. Try to do boxes, 3D boxes, then 3D balls, and then random shapes. Yeah, I mean, I've drawn everything in this so far, so like, I don't think I'm that bad, but like, I'm not amazing. I lack imagination. That's the problem. You know, like this guy is just like kind of Mega Man, which is fine, I think. Okay, so let's say we get through that room. I think we're good for rooms, right? Like, we're good for door transitions and stuff. What I want is I need more terrain. I mean, I need more tiles that are non-interactive. Like, I need something that's the same color as like the rest of these walls. Then I can fill in the background and it doesn't like actually matter. As something is also that I'm going to need to check on is like the way that the camera works. The camera currently just gets the size of the tile map. This tile map specifically, tile map layer 2. I should probably rename that. Draw something with code using vector 2. That is a real challenge. World tiles. So like that, it grabs basically the size of that and then sets the camera bounds to be that. But like, there's kind of positions where I kind of just don't want it to go certain places. So specifically in this room here, let me just turn off collision shapes. So I don't really want it to really draw below this floor, but it's going to, because there's nothing to stop it from doing that. So I don't really know. I've never really looked into it. Do you just use a collider? What do you do to prevent that from happening? Like, don't fall below this point. Just draw up here. So what I would do typically is like, I would just have like another, what is it, like, I would just have another room, because then I know I could like not have this floor. See how this guy's chasing me? He can't even see me. So it's like, although I can, oh, I missed. I don't know if it's that important, but it is something that I would like to change. Should probably delete that thing. Like here, you can, I guess if you come up here, you can. Don't know. I'm not sure what the best practice is here. Anyway, this room I do want to change. There's going to be a door transition here, but I want it to be like gated behind the dash. If I'm thinking about like how this is going to work for the alpha, or for even the demo. So what you want to do is essentially make it so that you have to dash across this, build it up here like so, and then get some spikes. Do we have spikes going on? We do have spikes. Get some spikes. We can put some spikes, and I don't think you'll be able to get across that. Oh, I suppose you could sequence break with this guy, but that's fun. I like that. Then, what am I doing? Go back to this tile map and put a door in. Right here. Although we kind of need a little bit of space, so maybe we need to like move this out a little bit. So you can jump, I think 4 by default. You can't jump more than that. Wait, I need also hurt boxes. I'll create the hurt boxes for that. And then there's a door, facility door. If every agent has a ray pointing to the player and it is colliding with something, good chance you're behind an object. Yes. Yeah, I can do that. It's not that big a deal. They even do that for when they need to decide whether or not they can shoot at you. So they won't actually go into their attack state until they have a clear line of sight. They'll continue to pursue you. So, like, it's already there. I just need to do it. They also don't, like, you can sit outside their line of sight and sit outside their even detection area and just like they won't attack you. There's a couple of things I need to change with the enemies. So it's probably worth doing like a go around on that. Duplicate this door. Transform and then shift it upwards. And this is where you're gonna do it here. I suppose we need to put like invisible walls behind these doors just in case. The tile map is invisible, okay. I don't know why it does that. Just so you can't slip out. Okay. Alright, so there's a door there that you can't get across unless you do like a double jump. Let's just quickly make sure you can't jump through that. Ouch. Yeah, it's pretty tough. It's a pretty tough jump. Yeah, but if you got that guy back, maybe you could do like a could you like do a jump on him? If you oh shit. No, I guess he's always going to be on that side of you, so it's kind of hard. That was weird. Why'd it do that? Is that a new thing now? Well, that was also really weird. I have my downward smash hitbox turned on all the time. How'd it do that? It stayed on too. Look at that. That's so OP. I guess if I do then a downward smash, it probably turns it off. Yeah. Interesting. What was the sequence of events that caused that? Did I die while doing it? Is that what caused that? I'm curious now. I love these little weird bugs that I'm finding. It is, yeah. Also, that was really bizarre. Like, I managed to maintain control of the character as well. Fun. Okay, that's an easy fix. Clearly, when the player dies, basically what happens is when you take damage, you get taken out of whatever state you're in. So when you exit the downward state. There's another guy from Australia in the afternoons. He suggested he got a $30,000 funding, but was going to run out, and now in a conundrum to move forward. Oh, he got the Screen Australia grant. That's pretty cool. Yeah, it's tough because that's not really that much money. Like if you're a solo dev and that's all, like, you know, that's your main source of income. I mean, realistically, unless you're like in Australia, unless you're living very frugally, that's not going to last you that long. It depends on your circumstances, I suppose. But yeah, it's, that's a tough one. Personally, if I received the funding, I would genuinely use it on other things. You know what I mean? Like you get someone to do art for you, or you get someone to do something, because like you're not gonna be able to live off that long term, you know? Not unless you can make the game and ship it during that time. Like if you think you can get your game done in the 3 months that money lasts you, you probably have to pay tax on that as well, right? I guess it depends on the structure. Like even if the grant is not taxable, then if you've got a company and you're paying yourself, you would have to pay tax. It's probably taxable. Everything is, except for gambling winnings for some reason. I mean, even that's not true. They can become taxable. Don't mind me. Okay, so this is the down slam. When we go into the down slam, we turn on the shooting disabled, down slash remaining, down dash, velocity change to weight, down slam hitbox set active true. Now I'm assuming this just never gets set to false if you get pulled out of the state early, which is kind of an issue because that's kind of annoying. So what happens when you take damage? I'm sure it's calling override state. I'm bored. I'm going to go load GD script from zero. Good luck, dude. So what happens is you take damage from your hurt box. How many times have you finished it? I would only do it one time. I was thinking 5 times. Damn, that's crazy. I guess he's young. It's like wax on, wax off. I did not finish it yet. How long does it take, you reckon? Hurt box. Set to vert. Okay, so we're just sending out a signal with this. So that's not really a problem. But we've got the player health container, which is responsible for taking damage. If they made it a research and development project, they could. I made a 40,000 tax offset yesterday or the day before by completing my special LLM project. Nice, dude. Nice. While loops or whatever. Oh, while loops. That is something I don't really use that much. They're pretty freaky. Set max health. For loops, while loops, good. Yeah. I feel like for loops are super common, but while loops are, I don't know. I don't like to use them because, like, you know, you have to break out of it. And if you don't, you're kind of in trouble. But yeah. Is it player health container? I think signals, health request, damage taken. On health container, damage taken, we go to the sprite, we go to the player state machine, which is probably where we need to be looking. So finished.emit, if physics processing, current state.finished emit damage. Right, so theoretically, it should be okay to like exit out of that state. Like, there really shouldn't be a way for you to keep that on, but I guess like somehow it is. Because basically if you're calling finished, then you're calling exit. And if you're calling exit, then the collision is turned off. But there's definitely a way that we can do it with that. I'm just going to turn the fan on. It's getting colder, you know, it's getting colder because it takes an hour before the room heats up to a point where I need the fan. When you're, like, I think the computer, like, I need to put, like, the heat gun up to it and see how much it's, like, pushing out. So override state still calls finished. It still should be calling exit. And, it should still be turning that collider off. Which is weird that it doesn't, and an interesting conundrum. Let's see if I do it with the debug, visible collision shapes. Can I even see the difference? Is it visible? If I turn on the down slam hitbox, looks like that. It'd be nice if it only showed up when it was active. So what do I gotta do? I gotta take damage and then it's just gonna be active. Oh, look at this. I technically don't have... How much health do I have right now? Pause the game. It looks like I've got 0, but I bet you I don't. How am I achieving that? Current health is 1. Okay. And this is disabled. How did I do that? I guess if it's difficult enough to recreate, I should just, like, let him have it. Also, how do I get down to 1 HP? Everything does, like, 20. Oh, I need to make it so they take damage when they get put inside the box. Yeah, I don't know. Is it when you die? Is it when you die in that state? Maybe. Ah, shit. Is that what it is? No? Okay, I don't know. I might have to just do a VOD review to work out what exactly I did. Nah. Dunno. Good old being a QA tester yourself is just like, okay, now you just have to like repeat this same action a million times to see if you can like recreate the one time that you got it to behave strangely and try and work out what exactly you did wrong. It's so annoying. What does this room look like? I need to like work out the map. I need to work out where I'm going because I'm having a hard time like, oh yeah, okay, so I want this room. So I thought about like how I wanted this room to look, and then I made it. But then like the next room and the room after, like what do I do? And also like the way I want these two rooms to connect, I don't know if they're like far enough apart. So like if I look at the way that this map is laid out, that's the elevator. I mean, of course we want that turned on. We look at these pink dots, which is how it works. This is one tile above each other. So if I want this to connect to the previous room, they need to be like one. I mean, they don't have to be, but it's going to look weird if they don't, just based on how the map works. So if I go back to the first room, which is this one here, right? So we enter in through here, and if we look at the map here, with the next tile up would be this. If I want you to enter in through here, you have to go up 3 levels. So maybe this room is not the room where we have that. You know what I mean? Maybe you go up a few more rooms before you get to that point, if that makes sense. So you have the next room, because if we think about like how these are all laid out, it'd be cool if I had like, I've seen people make these tools where you can see like all the different rooms in one space, but it's not really like, you're not actually, it's not like a part of the game. It's just a tool that they use to visualize the entire thing. You know what I mean? So there's like some overlap here because these tiles like don't perfectly line up, because this room was not made with this tile system, this like mapping tile system in mind, right? Which is fine. It's not the end of the world if two of these overlap. Honestly, as long as they're aligned, you know what I mean? So like when you come into the next room, if that other room, facility entry 2, you enter in through here, and then the next one up you come in here, but in facility 1 you end up over here. Visually on the map, you're going to see your marker jump up, which is not what you want. And we don't want to have to like manually design for that, because it's like annoying. Like you just want the position to be the position and you don't want to have to think about it. So we need to, basically what I want to do with this room, I want to change it a little bit, make it more Metroidvania-y. Metroidvania-y, okay. So basically, this bit here is no longer going to be like a platforming segment. We're going to like cover that up. You're going to come in through here. And at some point, you're going to be able to close off that because it's super annoying. Break through here, I reckon. Or maybe even break through here so that you can transport between them, because that's like that's like Metroidvania style. Like you're going to go and you're going to go on this journey, yada yada yada, just to get up here and then be able to like have this encounter where you fight the monsters or whatever. And then do you get the dash here? I don't know, but then it connects all back around and you can go and fight. Maybe the security boss can be over here. Or maybe you make them explore a bit more. I don't know, like something like that. But basically, I need them to go on a bit of a journey and then unlock rooms and break stuff and whatever. You know? So if I uncover that, go back to the tile map, do that, and then I don't even think I have like the invisible wall in this game. In this, loops are hard, bro. What the fuck? Yeah. Yes. It is like a little bit more of a concept to wrap your head around. Asuma hello, man. How's it going? I give up. Osama? War? No? I don't know. What the fuck are calls? What the hell are cells? That is hard. I mean, I guess it... I don't know if you're... I hope that loops are not needed for great games. Loops are 100% needed. It's like one of the main things. I'm sorry to break it to you, man. That is like the main thing. You're going to be doing a lot of them. It's a scene, I think. Invisible wall. Loops are everywhere, and then nested loops, 5 deeps. Do I have nested? I think I have like a few nested loops, eh? I have practical examples I can show. What the nest? A nest of loop. What are those animals? Put a loop in a loop. Yep. Put a loop in a loop. And let me think. I'm trying to think. Do I have it in a grid? I've got this thing here in the grid map. What does that look like? I know this is like got some pretty specky stuff in it. Or my like hard typed arrays for different like floors. That's fun. Oh yeah, we do have a nested loop in here, like set the map. This is a function that helps you work out the size of the map. So first, we get the Y cell. And then we loop through on a width basis. So in order to do like a square, like you have to loop through the Y's and then loop through the X's every Y. You know what I mean? So you go down, or you could go across, realistic, it doesn't matter. I think here I'm doing height, right? So I'm going for J in height, for I in width, and I'm going, I don't know why they're back to front. It's hard for me to remember. I like how I've got like, start time and end time. I'm measuring the time it takes to do this because this is like scary, right? I reckon redoing learn GD script from 0, then like 4 times is good. You'll get there. It'll click eventually. You just have to keep at it. Bro, I'm a 5th grader. Yeah, I think you're doing really good. Yeah, it's in the description. You know, for your age, I think you're doing really well. So keep it up. This is really challenging. And it takes a while to get the hang of it, but once you do, you know what to do. Think of it as like laying out, like if you had Lego, right? And you had a bunch of them and you had to make a square, but like you're like a robot. So you can't just like make a square. You can't go around it. You have to go like in a row. That's essentially what you're doing with the for loop. You're just laying things out one by one and then inspecting them and doing something with it. Where can we learn GD script? GD script from 0, baby. That's what we've been saying. GD script from 0. Is this like our approach to teaching code? It's free. Did I link the long one? I have to log in to continue. But yeah. That's good. Brackies. I was just watching a 3rd-person animation tree video. Thank you for the video. The animation tree has been bugging me. Animation trees in 3D are super annoying. It was one of the reasons why I even got in this journey, become obsessed with making character controllers, because way back in the day, I was trying to do 3D and trying to make like a Zelda controller, and it was so hard, dude. And it was like, and then I just went on this crazy journey and got like particularly obsessed with character controllers. And only now, after like 4 years, I'm like, oh, I should probably make a game. I think that coding needs patience, just like a little. You just have to keep at it. Like it's literally just a time thing. The more you do it, the easier it becomes. And then you're good. No more doom scrolling. It cooks your concentration. Yeah. Doom scrolling is really bad for you. It will give you dementia. I've heard. I'm not a doctor. Doom scrolling, dementia. Harvard Health. Demystifying the new dilemma of brain rot in the digital era. I'm a stinky iPad head that hates grass. What about that? I'm an iPad kid too. My brain is already rotted. Yeah. It's tough, man. It's actually crazy. Like when you get into it and then you realize what you're doing, like there'll be moments at the end of the day at like 9:30 at night where it's like, I literally need to like get on YouTube shorts and switch my brain off. And then it's like, it's crazy what it does to you. It is like, I don't know how to put it other than it's kind of like drugs. It's so bad the way that it just shuts your brain down. I used to drink. Now I just doom scroll. I'm not sure which animation tree to use. I was thinking state. I mean, I prefer blend tree personally. You can achieve the same effects with it. State machines have their purpose. I'm using one in this particular game where if we look at the character controller, if I've got it here, make one of each in your example and then tweak them. So player, yeah, I've done both and I do prefer like blend tree personally. It is a personal thing because they do the same stuff. Animation tree. Do you all got tricks to stop using scene screens? Because it's a problem for me. I'm serious. I mean, I have like obviously very high screen time, but I think it mostly comes down to what you're doing with your screen, right? Like if you're just watching like Instagram Reels or TikTok or whatever like short platform you're watching, I genuinely think that's really bad for you. Not that there's anything wrong with a little bit, like everything's okay in moderation. Like I'm not saying don't do it at all, but like be conscious of what you're doing, especially being so young. I mean, I'm cautious to give you advice because like I feel like I'd be more comfortable talking to an adult about this kind of stuff, but like, you know, if you wanted to ask mum and dad, yeah. To blocks. Oh yeah, I used to know a lady at my old workplace who had like an entire moderation thing set up for her kids so that they could only visit sites that she decided that they could visit, which seemed like a really good idea. But like you do have to be a little bit more technologically minded. Anyway, I stream on Twitch. If anyone wants to help me out, that would be greatly appreciated. I'll stop by. What was I going to say? Oh, we got distracted talking about doom scrolling. Animation tree, right? So I've got a big transition tree here where I'm just like plugging in a bunch of different things. Like this is jump space. The reason I like to use this over an animation state machine is because it's just neater. Like we've just got all these lines. It's noodles, right? Yeah, sure. But like an animation state machine would just be like all over the shop with this. This just plugs in. It does the exact same thing. And you can actually plug in state machines. So if I look at what I've got for the turn, where is that? Idle, run. Do I have a turn state? Power up, down slam? How do I do turns? Does it exist within run? Oh, can anyone see that here? Open editor. Oh yeah, look, this is a state machine, right? So I'm controlling the way that the character turns based on information from the input system. And so like whether or not you play the run right or the run left animation is based on inputs. And then if you so how it works is there's actually a turn state. And when you are running, when you take your finger off or you change direction. So if the vector that is deciding like which direction you go changes, instead of going back to idle, you go to the turn state. And the turn state basically just exists for a little bit. And it puts you in this like turn left, turn right. So basically all it does is it says it actually goes no input. So it gets set to like these ones here, I think, because basically they've got travel that they advance auto, right? So when you start and you're in the run right, if you stop, you get pushed into turn left, and then you get like a couple of seconds, 0.25, to put in another input, and it will go into the run left. But if it doesn't, it just goes into end and it goes to idle, right? Over here. Idle left, idle right. So it's sort of, this is the pathway. You go into the run right, the transition is here, and then if you're inputting when you get to this, you either go to idle or run left. You know what I mean? You sort of bounce off these. And so you can use both, or, you know, it's up to you. So like, you know, there's a lot here. Replace doom scrolling with Godot dooming. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yes. Tweaking the algorithm to push you into like motivating you instead of like just feeding off your neurons is good. That tree is crazy big. Yeah, it's probably going to get bigger too. I wish there was a way to compact it, but there isn't. As far as I know. I can't even zoom out to see the whole thing. Like, which is pretty funny. And then you've got the arm blend, basically. Oh, this is why I like it, because you have like add to and stuff like that. It's very easy to visualize what you're doing. Anyway, what the hell was I doing? Oh, I was working out my map. My map is like kind of a bit, well, I was planning, right? Because I'm like, oh, okay, so this can't really lead back to this. I mean, it can, right? We can absolutely have like a room transition there. But where do you go? I hope my tree isn't that big when I start working on it. Depends how complicated your character is. Like the character in my 3D controller is wicked complicated, right? Like it's not, like that's simple compared to what we did for the 3D controller because we split the character in two, right? So like, I can't see what you commented. Top chat, live chat. Sometimes it's hard for me to tell. Ramen bar looks over the noodles. What? Ramen bar looks over the wants noodles that good. And a little of the peoples that play the games I play, maybe it's just a little. I try to make the feed the game. Oh, game making, yes. Trying to make the feed about game making is a good idea. What was I trying to do? I was trying to show the animation tree. Third person shoot tutorial. This one takes a little bit to load up. So the animation tree for this in the finished product, where's the character model, animation tree. We're getting kind of crazy here, you know what I mean? But you've got a lot of stuff. Oh, you did a typo? I thought so. The transition, this guy does less stuff just because like it is a tutorial, right? Like that's kind of, you don't really want to have too much stuff. Ramen bar, look over and want noodles that good. Is that a reference to something? I don't know. Dude, how good is ramen? So yeah, like this is kind of complicated, but the transitions are there's only idle, walk, run, sprint, jump, right? We don't have any other actions, but you could. Totally could. It's just a time thing. This is actually way better than, like, there's unfortunately, if you want to have complex actions responding to input, you've got to have a tree. There's other ways, like there's a guy that's on YouTube, I think it's like Fighting Fit or something like that. It's a strange name for a YouTube channel that does Godot. Final Fight. I actually reference him in that video. Let's see. Yeah, Fair Fight. Close enough. Fair Fight is actually a really good YouTuber if you want to learn more about the complexities of animation in Godot. He has an entire series on parkour and advanced locomotion. And I watched this.
Something arcane, something that exists in.
Yeah, I'll put it on screen. Yeah, I imagine it would. Number guessing name need loops? Probably. I just need people to walk me through a couple of times. This guy is definitely like, he's not teaching you step by step, you know what I mean? Skeletal animation, but it will give you a lot of ideas about how to do certain things, you know what I mean? Like, so he's very much focused on like Dark Souls like kind of controllers. But he's got a lot of really good ideas how to get complex animation out of Godot. And so like I watched him and I borrowed the idea of, I was sort of like, I need to split it in two, and then he sort of confirmed that that's the right way to go about it. He does things a little bit differently to me, as everyone has their own way about doing things, but the idea of splitting the top and bottom half of a 3D character, if you want to have like complex animation stuff, it's fine, dude. For loops are super easy. You do have to do them, you know? Like a for loop is like, here, let's just grab a node. No, we wanted to create a new scene, like a 2D scene, and we attach a script called like for loopy. Where'd the script go? And so like, if you wanted to just do like a for loop, it depends what you're trying to do, right? So if you wanted to go like, it's really simple. Say you wanted to loop over 5 times. So you could create a variable called 5, right? And say it's an int and it's 5. Right? And then you can go for I in 5. Then you go print. We're just going to print out the console I. And that is literally just going to just print out the number 5 times. And it'll count up. Like this is sort of just built into Godot. That's how it works. It might be different in other programs, but like when we run this in the console, we'll see 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 because it behaves like an array, right? You will count, you know, so you still count 5 times, but you only get to 4. What is an int? Right, so here, we're creating a variable called 5, and we're telling the program that it is a number, an integer, which is just another word for a whole number, right? So if you're ever confused, you can always read in a built-in type for integers, and it goes into details about like what values it can be. It's a 64-bit integer type. I don't really even understand this myself. This is just like programmer stuff. And it will wrap around basically if it goes over these gigantic numbers. But yeah, so it just means that I'm telling it a number. You don't need to do that. You can just go var5 equals 5. You know, it's fine. It will still work. It's just better to be clear. See, you still got 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. And so you can do stuff, right? With that, it just expands from there. How much time you'll think it takes me to learn coding? It'll take you a long time. I've been at it 5 years and I'm still not an expert. So say you wanted to do your times tables, right? So you could create a program just like count, right? Say this is an int. And then you could do like an export variable, which just means we can set it in the editor, and you would be like the times tables, right? And you also say this is an int, and you say that it's equal to 1. And say you wanted to print out the table of all this number. So you could go for I in count, and then you could say print, just so that we printed the console, I multiplied by times tables, right? And so this is something that you do when you're in 5th grade, right? Like you have to learn your times tables, and then now we can just print that out and we know all the answers, right? We don't have to use a calculator and sit there one by one. We're going to do it all ourselves, right? So you can just say this is the 5 times tables, and then we print, although you've got to remember that we do 0, so make this 13, right? Or to be honest, you could go 12 and then you could go I plus 1, right? Because we know that it starts from 0. And we just have to account for that. And then I ditched a node 2D. So now we can do the 5 times tables. Let me open Godot. And here you go. You got 5, 10, 15, 20, and then all the way up to 60. And so we can do a nested time loop, right? You can go beyond this. How many tables are there in the times table? It's 12, right? And so you can do two count. You can do two for loops. You can go for j in tables. So you go for I in count for j in tables, right? So we're going to loop through both. Since it's 12 and 12, it doesn't really matter which one. And so now we can just go I plus 1 times j plus 1, and we'll have every single times tables. I think. In my mind, that works. Right. And then maybe at the end of this for loop, we'll just print a space so that we can see. Is it /n, \n? This just creates a space in the editor. Invalid escape string. What? It's not happy with that. I'll just do that. That'll work. Now this number doesn't matter anymore. I suppose it would make more sense to print like the tables. So you've got 1, 12, and then you've got 2, and we go up, and you've got 3, and then you've got 4, and then you've got 5. And so like that is, I mean, now you've just cheated on your homework for the rest of 5th grade. Because you got the answers straight here that quickly. And so you can do some really powerful stuff with for loops, right? So you can process a lot of data very quickly. I and j are just used to represent the values. These can be anything, but standardization declaration makes it easier for the next person to read. I, j, x, y. Yeah. They're just, that is probably a little bit more high school, right? I is, it could be x and y. That probably makes more sense for a student. And so, yeah, easy peasy, right? It's just what you do with it at the end of the day, because this example is very simple, but like if you extend beyond that, you can do a lot with it, and you can inspect data, you can change it, you can manipulate it while you're looping through it and do different things. And so it allows you to process things very quickly. So I guess we go like you could print, because this is at the bottom. So if we put this at the top, right, for x in count, we go print x, we can just do it like this, x str, and then comma table. Something like that. Does that work? Oh, I ran the game instead of ran the project. The little 10 times table. Oh, it's not like it's at the bottom. 0 times table. I need just to +1, but yeah. Easy peasy. Okay. For loops explained. That's better. And now you're faster than every person. Okay. I was planning this I was planning this level. Alright. Gotta go. Have a good day, dude. Good day, good night, wherever you are in the world. Okay, so the map outlay, yeah, right. So we were sort of discovering that the world is much bigger than we realize, and we actually need to climb up multiple levels before we even get to that point. So we're doing 2 here realistically. And in order for us to connect with facility entry 1 at the top here, we actually need to come up, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we need 2 more spaces, which is fine. So if we go, let's close this, back to facility entry 2, this as an entryway doesn't really make sense because you would just end up over here with like, what's the point of that? There's no value there. So I don't think we'll include that on reflection. We might just fill in that space as unused for now. We could put a secret in there. So how do we do that? Okay, first of all, we delete the door because we don't need it. And we don't have anywhere to go. And then we fill in this tile space that we created. And actually, we're going to fill in the entire thing. We'll move the air enemy. We could just potentially like have like a random little bit here. Just fill it in. It's fine. I think... So what project are we working on? We are making a Metroidvania. We've been getting through it pretty well. We're sort of at the point now where I have to start building out the level and adding content so that we can get it ready for testing, so that people can play it and they have like a way to move around and there's a goal, right? Because right now it is just like a sandbox, right? You come in at this level, it's all pink, sorry, and you can just run around and like you get this dash and then you go over here and you go over here. Do I like 3D or 2D better? They both have their advantages and disadvantages. I'm doing both in this game, right? So I actually have like a 3D version of this level that projects behind. So you can do both. You don't have to be doing just one, right? There's an entire snow behind it. Like literally, this is just like a snow texture and, you know, like it gets projected behind the screen. And so if I run the game from fresh, literally you just get this like parallax, right? See how the 3D, the wall at the back is like sort of moving with you. And so you can do both if you want to. That guy doesn't chase because it turned his detection off. And so when you come up to this room, it's like, yeah, you can... a lot of enemies here. This guy isn't following because I destroyed the navigation. So yeah, you get this, you see the snow at the back, which is kind of nice. But it is still just a 2D game with a 3D projected background. That's all it is. So the 3D is pretty basic in this game, but I'll be honest with you, I don't know if I'm going to keep it or it just depends, you know? That might be like a too much of a scope creep in terms of the art level, because obviously not only do you need to create a 2D game, you also need to create like an entire 3D environment, which is a whole lot of effort. I like the way it looks. I feel like it gives it a unique kind of appearance, especially when it comes to like 2.5D is very often just like, if I look at like the style that I'm being inspired by, it's like the Final Fantasy or the Square Enix Pixel HD remaster things that they have done lately. Like what's that game? I haven't even played it. I just love the way it looks. Octopath Traveler? Is that what it's called? The Metroid games? Yeah, I like the Metroid games. I'm a big fan of them. So if I look at like the kind of visual style that I'm sort of drawing on here, it's definitely more like this pixel remaster kind of look, but in a different format. Obviously, this is a Metroidvania. And it's 2D first. So these games, they're very much, this is a 3D environment, right? It's just got 2D sprites for everything, and the models are like sprite-like, right? So this is a 3D game. It just has 2D sprites, and everything is pixely. Although they definitely mix pixels. There's a lot of mixels here, like those trees and stuff. Like I feel like they don't look quite right, but you know, it looks cool. The tilt shift effect is nice, but obviously I'm in a 2D world. I most likely will have some blur, but like, you know, so this is still 2D. This is a 2D game. It's just the background is 3D. And the practicality of that may prove to be too much of a burden, and I may abandon it, and that's okay. But I like it. I'm trying to make a 3D forest. Ooh, that sounds challenging.
The square root of rope is string.
Is it really, though? Welcome to the chat, Goosefat. The square root of rope is string. I suppose. Can't argue with that. If you want the forest to be a maze, read James Bruck May's website. It's a challenging. Yeah. There is an air enemy 3 here. Oh, he's not even... Is he in the enemies? Where is this guy? He can go there. Okay, while we're procrastinating over the level design, because I really am not that big a fan of it, let's procrastinate on making sure these guys don't chase you when you can't be reached. So, there's 2 things I want to do. One is I want to see if when you take damage, you could tell that the player actually damaged you. Hurt box. I don't think you can, because the hurt box just gets the hurt. It doesn't actually... So I might not ever be able to address that, like have them take damage and then start chasing you. Because there's no link between the taking the damage and the player. So that, I think, is a lost cause unless I drastically change the way hurt boxes work. Because when you area entered, you just get the area of the hitbox.
Doggo.
Doggo? Are you going to do links like you used to, or do you want... Angie. Isolated capture. I think she's like kind of annoyed. She's like, I want to... I don't know what she wants, actually. Mornings are kind of weird for her. She just wants to eat and sleep. You don't have anything ready for the bot? Hello? She's just like, leave me alone. I'm tired. It's not the right time of day. She just had food. Yeah, so I don't think these guys can do that, but in terms of player detection, what does this connect to? Because it doesn't have anything complicated. So it's got a signal for body entered, and it goes to the state machine. So go to method on detection. If current state name equals idle, emit chase, right? So target equals body. There should be a method for this somewhere. After breakfast rest, yeah, indeed. I don't know what just happened. Okay, so when you detect it, the target gets set to the player, right? And then you get sent into the chase state. Now, this is enemy state machine. It's pretty basic. However, surely there's a way to get the... Do we have the enemy data? Yeah, the question is, do we have access to the air enemies? Because I think here there is like a target. There's a raycast function. It might even be on... Yeah, check line of sight. Here it is. So class name AI enemy. Check line of sight. And it returns like vector 2. So we need to be able to call this function when we have a detection. We can change the flow here so that we go to the AI enemy, and then the AI enemy makes this call, or like setting the target and putting you into the chase state. So we can do that pretty easily, right? In fact, we already have a function called set enemy target, which puts you into the chase state. So this exact function, but instead of doing the area detection here, we do it on the enemy. So we disconnect this and we do body entered here. And we're still in this. This is AI enemy, right? Oh, here we go. Me when I wake up. Kitty. Okay. So now that we've got this, we can say, probably should have a shower and get, yeah, you 100% should. Gonna get back to work. Have a good day. Enjoy your work. Play Death Effect. So what we want to do is go var is, what do we get back? A line of sight. So basically this returns, it returns result.collider. So it actually returns the target, I guess. We already have the target here. So is line of sight is valid target. Is valid target. And this is going to be, what does it return exactly? Check line of sight, returns no 2D. Set target, set enemy target, target updated emit, state machine set, okay, so we can actually just call that function. Great, 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 great. Is valid target, it's a node 2D. And then you're gonna go equal check line of sight, body dot global position, and then if is valid target, then we say if is valid target is player character, just in case, then we're going to set target and then we pass in is valid target. And to be honest, I'm going to take the is out of this. Just call it valid target. All right. Should just work. Pretty confident. Oh, we have many. Which one should we choose? Yes, this one. I chose wrong. Okay, that's fine. I suppose if I'd gone the other way, I would have encountered one immediately. I mean, that one still works. Ouch. I don't think there's a navigation. Let's check the next room. So he's not going to activate until like get to this, so he's not going to activate at all. Okay. That is not what we wanted. Because why? Why? Oh, that one turned into aggressive. I guess I got close enough. So if I get close enough, they obviously... Okay, so now he is chasing me. Okay, so I guess it kind of works. Like, he's not... Here, he won't do that. We need... You know what I need? The problem is it only does that check once you enter. So we probably just need to set up a loop where, like, if there is a target, it's continually checking to see if the target is valid. Because if you only do it one time, once you trigger this, so I would say, like, if you print valid target, right? It's gonna say tile map, like it's hitting the tile map, right? Still hits the tile map because I guess like it's colliding with this. And then I get close enough. Doesn't do anything. Ouch. Oh, it got me for a second and now it's gonna chase, yeah. So we probably do want to set that to like do that incrementally, just check if there's an overlapping body or something like that. So, and what about facility movement 1, where it's like a little bit more easy to make sure that this is definitely going to happen? I'm going to need to come back to that. Facility entry 01. Project. And use a data folder. Profiles, delete. I really got to set up a way to do that without actually opening up that folder. Oh, I actually forgot that the whole point of this was to rebake the navigation. Okay. Sometimes it's a bit finicky when you delete it. If you don't automatically click back onto the node, it won't recreate it. Ouch. Why? So it did get to me, but like it doesn't have navigation, which is why it can't chase me. I find this really strange. I've come across this before where it's like, it's kind of weird. Like, why is it not getting the navigation map? Layer 1. Air enemies. Navigation agent. Layer 1. Maybe if I turn on avoidance. Will that cause an issue? They're a little bit more slidey, but he's still not like, he doesn't have access to the navigation system. Like, he just doesn't have that. I can tell by the way it behaves. The reason it floats around like that is because there's like an additional bit of movement information when they are moving that makes them move around a little bit. So they don't move in a straight line, they sort of like hover, you know, because they're meant to be like drones. But yeah, I get navigation direction. I guess like navigation agent, like print. I'm guessing there's no navigation agent. Like navigation agent dot navigation layer navigation. Like what is it that about this navigation agent? Does it not have the navigation agent dot get avoidance layer, get current navigation path, path index, navigation result, get navigation layer value, get navigation map, I think is the function that we want to call. And I don't know why it doesn't have access to that map, even though it is very much on that map and it's being called. Like, it's kind of weird. Because it does have the navigation map, like it's printing an RID, it's not null. I don't get it. Rebake the navigation. Strange stuff, eh? Set target position. Navigation, get path position. I want to know. Why are you doing this to me? Look, I've even got printouts to try and tell me. Suspect. Look, you have the direction, bro. I don't get it. Why you no chase me? You know what you can do? You can actually set the... In the navigation agent, you can turn on debug. I don't know why I didn't do that to begin with. And then you can actually visualize the path that it's drawing rather than having to rely on printouts. So that'll help me know that it is actually... It does have a path towards me, which it doesn't seem to do. So maybe the target is busted. Because I can't see that. Why would it not? Next path position. Set target position target. Is the target busted? Like... Is the target not me? Target.global position. It does not make sense. I mean, yeah, it's moving. Like, the target position is where I am. So I am the target. Check, get player target position. We are calling get navigation direction. Do I have like a... I have like a whole thing where I'm printing out the details here. Maybe we have a look at that. Yeah, I'm actually not real sure why it does this. This is what I did. I deleted the navigation map and then I put it back. And now it doesn't want to get the same layer. I'm honestly not too sure what the change is there that causes that error. Maybe this detail will help me. Probably not though. The enemy player, dummy enemy 2. It just doesn't have a path. Is it something that I can't see because of all the backgrounds and stuff like that. Like, is it because I have the 3D canvas that I can't see the path being drawn? Look, it's just gonna hover close enough to me. It's so funny. I'm just watching it sort of get closer to me. Did it error out? What the hell? Invalid access to key or name on property nil. Okay, so something happened there. That was weird. Don't know, man. I really wish I understood why it would just suddenly not have a path. Because the next path position is returning, like, actually. That's actually kind of the strange part, right? Like, get path length. If the path is still calculated under calculation, get RID, get navigation layer. What have I got in here, actually? Avoidance enabled, avoidance layers, avoidance mask, priority, debug. Path max distance. Path processing. I didn't know you could do that. Max length, max radius. Distance to target. Get avoidance layer value. Get current navigation path. Index. Okay, so here's the vector 2. 56 minutes until path. Returns the agent's current path from start to finish in its global coordinates. The path only updates when the target position is changed or the agent requires a repath. So if I print that out, like, do I get a comprehensive path? And is there a problem with me perhaps just navigating that? I don't know. I doubt it though, because like, it's not even, if there was a valid path, then I would be able to see that in the debug. Navigation agent dot get navigation path. You know what I mean? Like, I would just visually be able to tell because I've got avoidance. I've got the navigation stuff turned on. Oh, look, it's working now. What did we change? Nothing. Like, what the hell, man? I collect them all. Ouch. I think if I go off screen, do they still chase? Ouch. I think those are all the ones in the level currently. Follow me. Yeah, I don't know. Go figure. I don't know what changed. I literally just printed out the path and now it's working. After VOD review. Like, why did it suddenly decide to work? You know? Now they're super slidey because they got avoidance turned on. I don't like it because they will hit you. Maybe that's a gameplay thing. Like, I don't know. Do you want them to like just slide into you? They're an aerial enemy. They should stop and then let you be targeted. I actually prefer it to be the other way around, to be honest. So if we turn off avoidance, then they won't behave like that because we're just calling the natural movement code, which is just getting a direction from the path and traveling down it, rather than continuously calling it, and so it'll stop exactly where it's supposed to. I mean, I guess it's probably better to have some easing going on there because it's like very abrupt. I mean, they are meant to be like flying drones. So like most drones can stop quite quickly. I think it's okay. Ouch. Yeah, it's alright. Okay, enemies not really fixed because we were trying to do raycasting stuff with them and we just, for some reason, the navigation layer decided to stop working. Right, so the next problem is if we want them to be able to sort of react to us here, because right now this one is not going to react to us at all because it's just going to hit the tile map. I don't know why. I'm like right here. You know? Come on. So they do need to, like, I think incrementally check that. Because otherwise, it's always going to be wrong. Like, it's not going to chase enough. We want it to chase more. But not when you're through on the other side of the wall. That's annoying. We shouldn't do that. Not that it matters, it's just kind of weird. So here in the air enemy, what we can do is if we have a target, right? So we can make this a function. Search for target. And I guess we'll have like a detected target. Should know 2D because we don't technically know that it's the enemy or the player in this case. And basically we'll do all of this. And instead of this, it's detected body, detected target. And then on player detection, we can go search for target, detected target, right? We just pass in the body. Okay, fine. But we can have a variable called target found. Export via target state, knockback state machine. Target found, bool. And it's set to false. And then here, when we do this, we'll say true, target found true. And what we can do really is in the process function, you can say if target found, then we are continuously calling search for target. We are going to have to set this valid target. We might just create something called a found target. Potential. Target is the player, by the way. Guess that's confusing. Well, I mean, theoretically it could be anything, but right now it's the player. So where's the body? Target found 2, potential target equals body, right? We don't even really need to call that. And then here we just go search for target, and then we call, we put the player in, right? Like the potential target. If target found and potential, you have 13,000 points.
I have 13.7k points.
That's a lot. And then what we can do is set, so once we set target to be valid target, we are actually go potential target equals null, and that'll actually stop the search. We probably also don't want to do this every single frame. We probably just want to do this every like couple of seconds. So we can set up a variable called, we'll make it an export variable. and we'll call it scan time, and it'll be a float, and we'll just make it like every second. I think that's fine. This could also be a timer. Scan time remaining. You know, actually, let's make it a timer because timers are way easier to work with in this regard. So we can create a timer node, and its process time is idle. It's fine. It's not a one shot, right? It's wait time 1 second, and then we go signals timeout, and we connect that to the thing over there. Right, on timer timeout, we will just call if target that, and on top of that, we'll get access to this target scan timer, right? And we'll control. Hang on, access is a unique name, and just like bring that into the project, like so. Okay, so we've got the on ready, got a bunch of exports, target found, potential target, scan timer, right? And on timeout, we do this, and then we don't even have to say potential target equals null. We can say that we go scan timer, right? Target scan timer dot stop. Stop. Right, so basically that'll just stop counting down, which will stop calling this function. We still want those checks there just in case. And then we will also, when we get there, we set this and then we go target scan timer dot start. And then in 1 second it'll check again. We can even call now, we can call search for function, search for target. So we call it when we enter the thing, so we can call body there, and that will work just fine. We're no longer messing around in the physics process. Did you know Bluey's is in color dogs can see? That's cool. I've never shown Bluey to my dog. I don't think she'd be interested. I've shown her TV, she doesn't care. Okay. So now these guys should just operate as normal. We've got a couple of stuff in the debugger, which is kind of weird. So nothing there is a problem. Let's go to the other room where there's more obstacles. That's weird. We're getting debugger. Okay. And now it does respond eventually. So that's pretty much exactly what we want. So if we go back and we recreate the same issue that we were having to begin with. Which is this guy here. Yeah, I like that. They do eventually start like attacking you. Okay. Easy. We did it. And now I must go to work. I feel like wall climbers should bounce off each other. Oh, that's a good idea, actually. Good point. They can do that, it's not that hard. Have them detect themselves as well as the walls. Makes sense. Add some random little deviations. Yeah. He is still streaming, okay. Let's try this. We're gonna do a dual raid. I think. Well, it just depends, actually. Hold. Hold. Nobody leave, otherwise you're in trouble. Okay. Save. And then we do start right here. Okay. Okay. 4 seconds. Alright guys, thanks for the show. I'll see you all around.